The galaxy had long been a tapestry of diverse civilizations, each species wielding their unique technologies, cultures, and ambitions. The sprawling galactic coalition governed most star systems, a fragile alliance balancing on diplomacy and the occasional show of military strength. Among the numerous alien races populating this cosmic network, humanity was a relatively new entrant. Despite being newcomers, humans quickly gained a reputation that was both admired and feared. It began with a whisper, then a ripple, and soon, the entire coalition's attention was drawn to a single human warship appearing unannounced on the borders of a contested star system. The ship's silhouette was sleek and imposing, unlike any other vessel known to the aliens. Yet what truly baffled every intelligence analyst and fleet commander was their failure to scan or gather any meaningful information about the ship's interior or technology. Advanced scanning probes fired toward the warship returned only garbled data or complete blackouts. Even the most powerful quantum analyzers and spectrometers, which could penetrate the thickest armor or deepest cloaks, came up empty-handed. Some claimed the ship seemed to absorb or disrupt the scanning waves themselves, as if it were alive and actively defending its secrets. As word spread, fear and fascination grew among the alien factions. Rumors abounded. Some speculated that the humans had developed a new form of stealth technology that bent light and sensors alike. Others whispered about forbidden bioengineering or alien artifacts secretly installed within the ship's hull. One thing was clear: no one dared to scan a human warship without risking severe consequences. At the heart of this mystery was Captain Jorah Vesh, the human ship's commander. Cold and unyielding, Vesh appeared to be a master strategist who spoke little but commanded immense respect. When questioned diplomatically, the captain refused all scans and inspections, citing security protocols and mutual respect for sovereignty. His demeanor hinted that the humans were not merely hiding technology, they were hiding power. Power that could change the balance of the galaxy. On the alien side, the story follows Talix, a young intelligence officer from the Viren species. Curious and determined, Talix has a reputation for uncovering secrets others preferred left buried. While many in the coalition advised against prying too deeply into the human ship's secrets, Talix saw an opportunity to understand what made humanity so uniquely dangerous. Talix's investigations began with gathering testimonies from crews who had encountered the human warship. Many reported strange electronic disturbances and subtle psychological effects, unease, confusion, even paranoia, whenever near the ship. Weapon systems would occasionally malfunction without explanation, and communication arrays experienced unexplained interference. These anomalies fueled the growing legend that humans had mastered a new kind of warfare, one that was as much psychological and technological as it was physical. Despite increasing pressure to drop the inquiry, Talix pushed forward. The mystery of the human warship was more than a curiosity. It was a potential threat that could upend the fragile peace maintained by the coalition. What the humans were hiding and why no one dared to scan them became a puzzle Talix was determined to solve. As Part 1 closes, the stage is set. The galaxy watches nervously, the humans guard their secret fiercely, and the first steps toward uncovering the deadly truth begin. The mysterious human warship had become the focal point of galactic tension. Across multiple star systems, alien fleets attempted to scan the vessel, desperate to reveal the secret it so carefully concealed. Yet, every attempt resulted in baffling failure. This phase of the story dives into the alien factions' repeated efforts to pierce the veil of secrecy and the puzzling phenomena surrounding the human warship's defenses. Initially, the coalition's top scientists and engineers unleashed their most advanced sensor arrays and scanning technologies. They used everything from deep-spectrum quantum scanners to gravimetric analyzers, hoping to unravel the warship's internal layout, power sources, or hidden weapons. However, what they received in return was either a corrupted data stream or nothing at all, as if the human ship's hull absorbed or scrambled the signals. Some scans produced empty voids on their displays where the ship's interior should have been mapped. The failure of these scans ignited fierce speculation and fear. The anomaly wasn't merely a technical glitch, it seemed to be an active, adaptive defense. Aliens reported their instruments behaving erratically, communications jammed, targeting systems lost lock, and even navigation arrays glitching when the warship was nearby. The warship seemed to project an invisible electronic field that disrupted or hijacked alien technology. Talix, the curious Viren intelligence officer, compiled detailed reports from various encounters. Crews who had been near the human warship described strange psychological effects. Some spoke of an unsettling feeling of being watched, a creeping paranoia that lowered morale and raised tensions among alien sailors. Others reported vivid hallucinations or brief moments of memory loss. The anomalies suggested that the warship's defenses extended beyond the technological. There was an element that affected the mind. Further investigation revealed that the human captain, Joravesh, was not only confident but seemed almost detached from the growing alien unease. Vesh's calm and controlled demeanor suggested he was fully aware of the psychological and technological impact his ship had on others, perhaps even using it as a form of warfare in itself. His refusal to allow any scanning or inspections only deepened the mystery and alien suspicions. The coalition's scientific community speculated wildly. Could the humans have integrated living organisms into their technology? Were there unknown nanomachines or self-repairing materials that actively interfered with electronic probes? Or was it a form of cyber-biological warfare previously unseen in the galaxy? Some argued that humans had discovered a way to weaponize the very act of observation, turning attempts to scan the ship into a liability for their enemies. Despite mounting fear and uncertainty, attempts to penetrate the warship's secrets continued in smaller, covert operations. Unmanned probes sent in stealth modes were destroyed or lost without explanation. Espionage agents captured aboard the human vessel disappeared, with no reports returning to their homeworlds. The warship remained a ghost, visible, yet intangible and untouchable. Talix began to suspect that the secret was not just in the ship's materials or software, but also in its design philosophy. Humans were using an entirely new approach to warfare, one that fused technology and biology, mind and machine. This realization made Talix more determined but also more cautious. Whatever the humans were hiding, it was dangerous enough to deter even the most desperate and daring spies. Part 2 ends with Talix planning a risky next step, either to infiltrate the ship or gain direct access to a captured human crew member. The tension mounts as the story moves toward uncovering what exactly lies beneath the human warship's inscrutable exterior. After the failed scanning attempts and strange reports of electronic interference and psychological effects, the alien coalition recognizes that understanding the human warship's secret requires a more direct approach. Part 3 centers on the daring, high-risk mission to infiltrate the human vessel and uncover what lies behind its impenetrable exterior. The story shifts to focus on Talix, the determined Viren intelligence officer who volunteers or is chosen for this dangerous task. With a small elite team of operatives, Talix embarks on a covert boarding mission. The human warship, aware of enemy movements, is heavily guarded, but the team uses stealth technology and timing to evade sensors and patrols. The atmosphere is tense as they breach the airlock and enter the ship. At first glance, the ship's interior appears surprisingly conventional, especially compared to the highly advanced exterior and the rumors surrounding it. The corridors are sleek but functional, lined with panels of familiar technology, screens, control consoles, maintenance tunnels. The human crew operates with precision and discipline, showing no signs of the strange biotechnological systems speculated by the aliens. However, as Talix's team ventures deeper, they discover areas of the ship that are strictly off-limits. Certain sections are locked down by advanced security measures far beyond standard protocols. Attempts to hack or override these locks trigger defensive countermeasures, indicating the presence of critical systems hidden within. One particularly disturbing discovery is the presence of chambers filled with strange organic matter fused with machinery, biomechanical systems that pulse with life yet also hum with energy. The walls themselves seem to breathe subtly, and small clusters of microscopic devices move within gel-like substances. These are not just machines but living components integrated with technology. The team also finds evidence of nanites, microscopic robots that repair damage, adapt the ship's systems, and potentially serve offensive functions. Some nanites appear to be capable of entering living hosts, suggesting a terrifying biological weapon that could sabotage enemy crews from within. The line between ship and organism blurs, revealing a ship that is part machine, part living entity. Interrogations of captured human crew members provide cryptic but telling hints. The humans refer to their ship as an adaptive warrior, explaining that the vessel can respond dynamically to threats by changing its own structure and deploying microscopic agents to neutralize enemies without detection. The crew's pride and calm confidence reinforce the idea that this biotechnological integration is a deliberate and powerful advantage. Throughout this part, Talix grapples with the ethical implications. The technology seems almost alien in nature, combining living matter with weapon systems in ways that raise profound moral questions. How far have the humans pushed the boundaries of warfare? Is this integration a form of self-defense or something more sinister? As Part 3 closes, Talix and the team must retreat before their presence is discovered, taking with them vital data and samples. They know that what they uncovered is only the beginning. The human warship's deadly secret is far more complex and terrifying than anyone had imagined. The tension escalates as the coalition now faces a human fleet armed not just with advanced technology, but with living weapons. The balance of power in the galaxy hangs precariously, and the stage is set for a deeper confrontation. With the covert mission to infiltrate the human warship behind them, Talix and their team return to the Coalition's command with a treasure trove of data and a terrifying realization. What lies at the core of humanity's warship technology is not just advanced machinery, but a living, adaptive biological weapon system, an entirely new form of warfare that combines organic life with machine intelligence in unprecedented ways. The Coalition's scientists pore over the samples and information collected from the ship's restricted zones. What they uncover sends shockwaves throughout the galaxy. The human warship's hull is embedded with bioengineered tissues capable of self-repair, growth, and transformation in response to damage or attack. These tissues work in tandem with microscopic nanites, tiny autonomous robots that can infiltrate enemy vessels and sabotage critical systems from the inside without detection. Unlike traditional weapons that rely on brute force or firepower, the human's bioweapon system is adaptive. It constantly monitors threats through a vast network of biological sensors integrated into the ship's structure. When an enemy scan or weapon strike is detected, the ship's living tissues shift and morph to absorb or deflect damage. The nanites can swarm over hostile surfaces or be launched as invisible agents to disable enemy defenses quietly and efficiently. The implications are profound. The human warship is not simply a vessel. It is a living entity with the ability to evolve during combat, making it nearly invulnerable to conventional attacks and electronic surveillance. This explains why every attempt to scan the ship has failed. The bioengineered tissues actively disrupt scanning frequencies and scramble sensor data, creating an impenetrable veil of secrecy. Talix witnesses a demonstration during a controlled exercise. The human warship engages in simulated combat against a fleet of Coalition vessels. As enemy ships fire upon it, the warship's hull visibly shifts and reconfigures, healing itself in real time. It launches swarms of microscopic nanites that infiltrate the attacking vessel's systems, causing malfunctions, disabling weapons, and even triggering internal explosions. The enemy fleet is forced into retreat, suffering heavy losses without ever fully understanding how the humans turned the tide. This deadly secret turns the tide of power in the galaxy. Human warships, once seen as newcomers and minor players, are now recognized as terrifying predators. The combination of living bioweaponry with cutting-edge technology gives humanity a decisive edge. No other species has developed such a sophisticated and terrifying system capable of adaptive defense and silent internal sabotage. Talix, while impressed by the ingenuity, struggles with the moral and ethical implications. This blending of life and machine blurs boundaries, and raises profound questions about the nature of warfare and humanity itself. Is this technology a necessary evolution of defense in a dangerous galaxy, or does it cross a line into biological warfare forbidden by ancient galactic treaties? The revelation sends shockwaves through the coalition's political halls. Alien leaders convene emergency sessions to discuss responses, some calling for immediate sanctions or preemptive strikes against the humans. Others debate the possibility of negotiating limits on such bioweaponry, fearing an arms race that could escalate into full-scale war. Meanwhile, the humans remain inscrutable, maintaining their silence and readiness. Captain Jorah Vesh's quiet confidence only deepens as the galaxy grapples with this revelation. As Part 4 closes, the story sets the stage for the broader consequences of this secret. The galaxy is no longer safe from the unseen, living weapons hidden within human warships. A new era of warfare dawns, one where the very act of scanning can bring destruction, and the line between machine and living organism vanishes. The revelation of humanity's living bioweapon warships sends shockwaves across the galactic coalition and beyond. The news spreads rapidly through political chambers, military commands, and intelligence networks, sparking a mixture of fear, awe, and urgent strategizing. Part 5 delves into how the various alien factions react to this staggering new threat, the diplomatic tensions it ignites, and the uneasy atmosphere that now grips the galaxy. The immediate reaction among most alien species is panic and distrust. For centuries, galactic warfare had been fought with conventional technologies: plasma cannons, missile barrages, shield generators, and electronic countermeasures. Now, humanity had introduced an entirely new paradigm: warships that were part living organism, capable of adaptive self-repair, stealth, and internal sabotage through swarms of nanites. This meant that no scan or sensor array could guarantee safety or intelligence, and no defensive system could reliably predict or counter the human ship's tactics. High-ranking diplomats convene emergency meetings to discuss how to handle this existential threat. Many factions advocate for a swift military response, either a full-scale preemptive strike to destroy the human fleet before it can expand further, or a coalition blockade to isolate Earth and prevent the spread of this dangerous technology. Others, wary of provoking outright war, push for negotiations and the creation of new treaties regulating bioweaponry. However, trust in humans is at an all-time low. Captain Jorah Vesh's refusal to allow any scans or inspections is taken as a sign of arrogance and concealment. Alien leaders interpret this as proof that humans are hiding not just technology, but potentially more devastating secrets that could threaten the entire galaxy's balance. Meanwhile, espionage and sabotage efforts escalate. Rival factions deploy spies and hackers to infiltrate human operations, hoping to uncover vulnerabilities in the bioorganic systems. Yet these missions largely fail. Human defenses prove too advanced and adaptive. Some operatives who manage to board human ships vanish mysteriously, and intercepted communications hint at counterintelligence measures that turn the hunters into the hunted. The coalition's military strategists face a new challenge. Traditional fleet formations and combat doctrines become obsolete when facing adaptive living ships that can repair damage on the fly and silently disable key systems. Training programs are overhauled, and experimental weapons designed to target biological components are rushed into development. But even these measures carry risks. Targeting the living parts of a warship could have unpredictable, potentially catastrophic effects, such as releasing bioengineered pathogens or triggering uncontrollable nanite swarms. Amid the chaos, some alien scientists and diplomats begin to question whether humanity's approach might represent an evolutionary leap in warfare, one that others will inevitably have to match or risk extinction. Discussions arise about the morality of bioweaponry, the dangers of an arms race in living technology, and whether it is possible to establish galactic laws to regulate such weapons before a devastating conflict erupts. At the same time, humanity remains enigmatic and unified. Earth's leaders refuse to engage in traditional diplomatic channels regarding the warship's secret. Instead, Captain Vesh and his command continue to project strength, reinforcing their warships and preparing for whatever challenges may come. Their silence and confidence only fuel speculation and fear across the galaxy. The galactic balance teeters on a knife edge. The revelation of humans' deadly secret has shattered the illusion of safety that many species clung to. Now alliances are tested, rivalries intensify, and the shadow of potential war looms larger than ever. As Part 5 closes, the stage is set for a dramatic clash, one where the very nature of warfare, technology, and life itself will be redefined. The galaxy stands at a crossroads as the truth behind humanity's warships has been fully revealed. The living, adaptive bioweapon technology that made the human fleet untouchable has forced every species to reconsider their approach to conflict, defense, and diplomacy. Part 6 explores the fallout of this revelation and how it ushers in a new era of warfare, one that will forever change the balance of power and the future of interstellar relations. Following the Galactic Coalition's frantic efforts to respond, both militarily and diplomatically, tensions reach a boiling point. Several factions begin openly preparing for war, accelerating the development of biological countermeasures and enhanced cybernetic weapons to combat humanity's unique threat. The fear that humanity's secret technology could spread or be copied by rogue states leads to covert arms races and espionage on an unprecedented scale. Yet, this new era of warfare is not merely a technological arms race. It is a philosophical and ethical upheaval. The blending of life and machine challenges long-held principles about combat and the sanctity of living organisms. Many alien civilizations grapple with the question of whether it is ethical to weaponize living tissue and microscopic entities, fearing the potential for uncontrollable biological pandemics or the loss of moral boundaries in warfare. Amid this chaos, humanity remains calm and resolute. Captain Joravesh becomes a symbol of this new military paradigm, confident, unyielding, and strategic. Humanity's success in blending organic and mechanical systems provides them with unparalleled adaptability, allowing their warships to survive where traditional fleets would fail. But the humans do not use this advantage recklessly. They demonstrate a pragmatic approach to war, striking decisively but avoiding unnecessary destruction. Their bioweaponry is not a tool of indiscriminate slaughter, but a precise instrument designed to minimize prolonged conflict by overwhelming opponents quickly and efficiently. This tactical philosophy earns grudging respect from some of humanity's adversaries even as fear remains. Secret talks begin in the shadows, where representatives from various factions seek to understand if coexistence or cooperation is possible without igniting full-scale war. There is talk of new treaties specifically tailored to the realities of bioorganic warfare, though reaching consensus is difficult. Meanwhile, humanity quietly advances their technology, exploring deeper integration of mind and machine. Rumors. Spread of experimental warships where human consciousness merges with the living ship, blurring the lines between pilot and vessel. This evolution hints at a future where human warships could become self-aware entities, capable of independent decision-making and strategic thinking on par with their captains. The galaxy watches this development with a mixture of awe and apprehension, realizing that humans are pushing the boundaries of warfare into uncharted territory. It is a race not just for military dominance but for survival and identity itself. As Part 6 concludes, the story presents a galaxy forever changed. The old rules no longer apply. Traditional fleets and tactics are obsolete, replaced by a dynamic, living warfighting technology that will shape every future conflict. Species that adapt will survive. Those that cling to outdated paradigms risk extinction. In the final scenes, Talix reflects on the journey from ignorance to revelation. The human warships remain a mystery, but one thing is clear: humanity's deadly secret has not just altered the outcome of battles, it has transformed the very nature of war itself.